Om Sai Ram. Sri Sai Sacharita, Chapter 15. Naradiya Kirtan Paddhati, Mr. Cholkar's sugarless tea, two lizards. The readers may remember that mention was made in the 6th chapter regarding the Ram Navami festival in Shirdi, how the festival originated, and how in the early years there was difficulty in getting a good Haridas for doing Kirtan. On those occasions, and how Baba permanently entrusted this function of Kirtan to Das Ganu Maharaj, and how he has been doing it successfully ever since. Now, in this chapter, we shall describe the manner in which Das Ganu has been doing the Kirtan. Naradiya Kirtan Paddhati. Generally, our Haridas, while doing Kirtan, wears a gala and full dress. They put on a headdress either in a peta or a turban, and a long flowing coat with a shirt inside, and an uparni, that is a short dhotar, on the shoulder, and the usual long dhotar from the waist below. After dressing himself in this fashion for some kirtan in Shirdi village, Das Ganu once went to Baba for prostrating before him. Baba asked him, "Well, bridegroom, where are you going dressed so beautifully like this?" "For doing kirtan," came the reply. Then Baba said, "Why do you want all this paraphernalia, coat, uparni, feta, etc.? Lay off all this before me. Why wear them on the body?" Das Ganu immediately took them off and placed them at Baba's feet. Thenceforth, Das Ganu never wore these things while doing kirtan. He was always bare from the waist upwards, a pair of chipples in his hand and a garland round his neck. This is not a real practice that is generally followed by Haridas, but this is the best and purest method. The sage Narada, from where the Kirtan Paddhati originated, wore nothing on his torso and head. He carried a veena in his hand and wandered from place to place, singing the glory of the Lord. Mr. Cholkar's sugarless tea. Initially, Baba was known in Pune and Ahmednagar districts, but Nana Sahib Chandorkar, by his word of mouth, and Das Ganu, by his splendid kirtan, spread the fame of Baba in Konkan, Mumbai Presidency. In fact, it was Das Ganu, may God bless him, who by his beautiful and inimitable kirtans made Baba available to so many people there. The audience who came to hear the kirtans had different tastes. Some liked the erudition of or learning of the Haridas, some his gestures, some his singing, some is wit and humor, some is preliminary dissertation of Vedanta, some is main theme, and so on. But among them, there are very few who, by hearing the kirtan, got real faith and devotion or love for God or saints. The effect of hearing Das Ganu's kirtan on the minds of the audience was, however, electric, as it were. We give an instance of it here. Das Ganu once doing a kirtan singing the glory of Sai Baba in Kopineshwar temple in Thane. One Mr. Chulkar, a poor man serving in a temporary employee at the civil court in Thane, was amongst the audience. He heard Das Ganu's kirtan most attentively and was much moved. He there and then mentally bowed and vowed to Baba, saying, "Baba, I am a poor man unable to support my family. If by your grace I pass the department examination and get a permanent post, I shall go to Shirdi and fall at your feet and distribute sugar candy in your name." As luck would have it, Chulkar did pass the examination and did get permanent post, and now it remained for him to fulfill his hope. Sooner or better. Mr. Chulkar was a poor man with a large family to support, and he could not afford to pay for the expense of the Shirdi trip. As is well said, one easily crosses the Nahe Ghat in Thane district or even the Sayadri range, but it is very difficult for poor man to cross the Umbar Ghat, that is the threshold of the house. As Mr. Chulkar was anxious to fulfill his vow as early as possible, he resolved to cut down his expense and save money. He determined not to use sugar in his diet, began to take his tea without it. After he was able to save money in this way, he came to Shirdi, took Baba's darshan, fell at his feet, offered a coconut, distributed it with clean conscience, along with sugar candy, as per his vow, and said to Baba that he was much pleased with his darshan and that his desires were fulfilled that day. Mr. Chulkar was in the masjid with the host Babu Sahib Jog. When the host and the guests both got up and were about to leave the masjid, Baba spoke to Jog as follows: "Give your guest a cup of tea fully saturated with sugar." Hearing these significant words, Mr. Chulkar was much moved. He was wonderstruck. His eyes were bedewed with tears, and he fell at Baba's feet again. Mr. Jog, who was curious about this direction, but Baba wanted by his words to create a faith of devotion in Chulkar's mind. He hinted as it was that he was going without sugar candy and as per his vow, and that Baba knew very well the secret determination not to use sugar in his diet. Baba meant to say, if you spread your arms with devotion before me, I immediately, day and night, take care of you. Though I am here physically, I still know what you do beyond the seven seas. Go wherever you wish, over the world. I am with you. My abode is in your heart, and I am within you. Always worship me who seated is in your heart, as well as in the hearts of all beings. Blessed and fortunate indeed is he who knows me thus. What a beautiful and important lesson Baba had taught us through Mr. Chulkar. Two lizards. Now we close this chapter with the story of two lizards. One Baba was sitting in the masjid. A devotee sat in front of him. When a lizard tick-tocked. Out of curiosity, the devotee asked Baba whether this tick-ticking of the lizard signified anything good or was it bad omen. Baba said that the lizard was overjoyed that her sister from Aurangabad was coming to see her. The devotee sat silent, not making out what is the meaning of Baba's words. Immediately, a gentleman from Aurangabad came on his horseback to see Baba. He wanted to proceed further, but his horse would not go as it was hungry and wanted grams. So he took out a bag of grams from his shoulder to bring the grams, dashed it on the ground to remove the dirt. A lizard came out from therefrom and in the presence of all climbed up the wall. Baba asked the questioner devotee to mark her well. She at once went struggling to her sister. Both sisters met each other after a long time, kissed, embraced each other, whirled round, danced with love. Where is Shirdi and where is Aurangabad for a lizard? How should a man on the horseback come from Aurangabad with this lizard? And how should Baba make the prophecy of meeting of the two sisters? All this is really very wonderful, proves the omniscience of the all-knowing nature of Baba. Postscript. He who respectfully reads the story or studies it daily will get all his miseries removed by the grace of Sadguru Sai Baba. Bow to Sri Sai, peace be to all. Om Sai Ram.